So I was just thinking of the pun stuck between a rock and a hard place turned into stuck between a Burke and a hard place, or a rock and a Burke. I think the second one works best. But you know, we all know that way well-worn, overused quote by Edmund Burke about the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. So it is a real moral dilemma what to do about Yami Noob, because personally, obviously, it doesn't affect me at all. I'm much older than him, much more secure in my life, much more self-aware, secure in my soul, like, you know, in every possible dimension above and beyond him. So it's just like watching this little child like flounder about, gasping for air. Nevertheless, he puts out falsehoods, and I do feel some obligation to have the truth be known, because Yami, when he's wrong, he's not just slightly wrong. I mean, he is like flat earth level wrong. A deeply confused kid that hit his head a little too hard, probably on the rock or the Porsche. And I truly believe that if we had all the data, Yami Noob would be directly responsible for several deaths, and in a sense has murdered people through his poor advice and bad attitude. But be that as it may, it's not my job to police the people that he's physically hurt. Intellectually, it may or may not be my responsibility to point out where he lies, in both sense of the word. Both in the sense of where he stands, not that he has a backbone to stand with, but where he lies on the spectrum of truth, and then how he lies in general. Yeah, it's a difficult one, because essentially the question of Yami Noob is, you know, the question of one's duty to confront evil. Because, you know, he has a new half-hour movie out today, which will just be like sheer Adderall retardation. I'm sure I could find many offensive things and many stupid things in it, but then that's just taken away from my life. Now, it's not going to take away any emotional energy, because he never upsets me. He does disgust me, and he makes me extremely sad for the people that he listens to. It's really a shame. It's the way that YouTube is structured. Everyone is so worried about their own little fiefdom that the basic rule of how everyone behaves on YouTube is if a channel is bigger than you, kiss its ass. If a channel is smaller than you, dismiss it, unless it's so much smaller than you that you can maybe use it as a token, fake example of how you want other people to start channels. But it's amazing how no matter how much you're not a threat, like I don't want to make any money from YouTube, never have, never will, simply just giving my feedback and experiences. And pretty much every creator, to a man or woman, will get so offended that you dare have your own videos up. Like, that's not how this works. You're supposed to pay for my Patreon. You know, and I feel for them. And in some cases, they are working hard, but it's just like, get a real job. But yeah, then on the other hand, you have, you know, some of the really inspiring people doing really solid motorcycle tips, and that's probably where my focus should lay. But yeah, since Yami Noob became obsessed with me, I think that I should point it out. And also Yami Noob's deterioration, his mental health. Like, now he's talking quite seriously for Yami Noob that he quote-unquote knew when all of his crashes would occur. So he's now devolved into some sort of schizotypal, magical thinking, magical realism where he's predicting his crashes. Either that, or he's super paranoid and think he's going to crash all the time, and then when he does, he just was always thinking about crashing before he did. Either case, I think we're starting to see the CT from the yellow Porsche on old